in South Africa, a very warm welcome to you. This is Afternoon Express and my name is Palisa Tembe. I truly hope that you're having a fantastic Thursday. Listen, we're about to end it off on the right note. Now we're arriving at another exciting version of Fashion Express Thursdays, and today we meet designer Tomi Rikhotso from Tomi R Creations. The Soweto-born designer has dressed the likes of Shekhinah, Busiswa and Rami Chuene, just to name just about a few. Now we also meet the first ever all-women team to venture the crevices of Mount Everest. So make sure not to miss out on that amazing story. And in the kitchen, we've got Chef Tomi, who's going to be showing us how to make a scrumptious mac and cheese crunch cube recipe. Now, listen, our first guest is someone that we all listen to. We all jam along to his songs. Of course, I'm talking about the none other Pitori Maradona, otherwise known as Focalistic. The rapper is currently one of the most popular acts coming straight out of Pretoria. Now, he joins us today to chat all about his music. But first, let's check out the video for his song Overload.
You want the life from your liar, rabbit, and you overload, 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 I overload, 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 I overload, 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 I overload, 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 I overload. Hey,
Overload. Hey guys, overload Danny. I wonder what this man is overloading. Now connect with us online. If you have any questions for Focalistic, tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the hashtag Afternoon Express or comment on our Facebook page. Mr. Man, Mr. Pretoria himself.
Yes, sir.
The king, the don, the prince of course, our capital city. How does it feel to have such a huge name, such a huge brand cast on you at such a young age?
I think it feels amazing because for me, before anything, it's always been about the love of the city. That's why I do it, and that's why I started in the first place rapping in Pitori. So for me, it's just like, it's amazing to see people react the way they've been reacting, and it's all love.
It is all love, and it's still love, and I think that we feel that love when it comes across in your music. Do you get an out-of-body moment when you think, okay, I'm 23, I'm, straight off the bat, relatively quite new in the industry, but you've made such an incredible name for yourself?
I do get those moments, because sometimes, like, just 2 years ago, I was graduating. So for me, it's like, I never thought it would happen that fast. I was depressed, like with school and everything. I never thought like I'd achieve as much as I've achieved. And for me, it's just a thing of like motivation now. It's like, now it's to the world. I want to be the greatest African artist for me. So for me, it's just like, small steps to the big plan.
Well, you've definitely put it out in the universe. You can't shy away now from that goal. You've put it out there, and the entire South Africa is listening and is taking notes, and it's going to hold you to that promise to be the biggest act to come out of Africa. But you spoke about your challenges in school and that you were depressed and you went through a bit of a moment where you needed to overcome, What did that depression look like, and what was it caused by?
So for me, it's like, I think you can't blame your parents, obviously, because they were in a whole different generation. So for me, it's like I had to do the school to show my mom that, I can complete something. And I think in my second year, she's like, no, you can quit. I can see you actually don't like this. And I was like, but you taught me to, the spirit of completion. So for me, I think that's what kind of depressed me. It's just all of it taking its toll on you, But eventually you get out of it and you can do whatever you want. So right now it's me just doing what I want, music, and having fun with it.
A lot of creatives can identify with that story. The fact that you want to complete everything you started and not leave anything lingering, and not leave any cables and ties untied,
Definitely.
But you had to finish up and, of course, make the parents proud. How does that feel? And when you needed to work yourself out of that depression and say, hey, look, it's sink or swim, what kind of tools did you take on, and how did you get yourself out?
So for me, I think it was more God. Like, I can't explain a lot of the things that were happening at the time, but I'm a hard prayer and a hard believer. So for me, it was always, I remember I was writing my finals, and then as I get to the door, I start like vomiting uncontrollably. And I'm not sick. So that's when I realized like this was taking a toll on me. So I just started praying, and I made my mom proud when I graduated, and I made her proud like just a year ago when I never explained to her like, I just gave her like a gift, a birthday gift, and she saw me on TV. So for me, it's just like, it's been amazing. I made her proud twice.
That is
and I'm still gonna make her proud.
I mean, it's only the beginning.
Yeah.
You've definitely started on a very high note, though. So good luck to you trying to keep that level of consistency. But you seem to be someone, I mean, it's in your name, Focalistic. You're focused. You're on your grind. You're actually looking hardcore at the end goal, and you're working relentlessly to get there. And I mean, being one of the youngest but biggest brands to come in music, of course you attract the big names. And of course now you've started with Never Know, your new single, and you've collaborated with Casper Nyovest. That is huge. How did that collaboration come about, and how was it like working with Casper?
It's crazy. I have a picture I took with Casper in my first year of varsity. I saw him at Menlyn Mall, and I didn't want to take the picture. That's a crazy story. I didn't want to take it, and then he was like, Ndwana, it's a picture. Then I'm like, I don't want a picture, I want a feature. And fast forward 3 years later, he's at the studio, he's listening to my music, and I think that was the first song I played. And he's just like, this is the one, this is the song we need to hop on, and that's how it happened. So for me, it's just been amazing how the power of the tongue, like, however something, and you put your energy towards it, chances are you're gonna win.
Chances are it's gonna come back to you, and I think that this is a life lesson for everyone right now who is tuned in and watching Afternoon Express. And that is a story that we continuously push. What you say with your mouth and what you believe in your mind will come to be, whether it's positive, whether it's negative. So why not plant the seeds of positivity? Because they will sprout, and you've seen it in your life. Yes, it might have taken 3 years, but those were the 3 years that you needed to come up with something so magical that Casper says, you know what, I'ma hop on that. I love that. And of course, you've also worked with Major League, the Twins. 2 years ago, you signed under their label, and you've kind of grown and worked with them. And, you know, how did that come to be? And what have you learned from working with the Twins?
So for me, it started with like a freestyle video. I used to drop a lot of like freestyle videos on the internet. So I dropped one, and it was like kind of like the first one in South Africa to get like 100,000 views in like a week.
Oh,
so
there's a lot of views.
Yeah, everyone just kept commenting. I remember there was Java, the Twins, Reason. So for me, that was the moment where it was like, oh, actually, I could do this. And then the Twins hit me up. They were the first ones to follow through. Then we made a song called 19 Tobeta. So ever since, it's been like a nice journey, nice partnership, you know, them teaching me their side of the game, me showing them my side of the game. So it's really been an amazing relationship.
Collaboration is key, I think.
Definitely.
And learning from those that have come before you, there's so much to grasp and understand.
I always say, sorry to cut you off, I always say collaboration over competition. So even for all my youngins out there, collaboration over competition.
I like that. Write that down. Highlight, underline, asterisks. Because there's enough money for all of us. There are enough opportunities for all of us. It's just about the hard work and the talent to back it.
Exactly.
We've seen that with you, Mr. Pitori Maradona, Focalistic. You've worked so hard. If you were to summarize your sound and say, okay, I'm in the hip-hop genre, I am spitting, but how would you describe your sound?
I have a genre that I created. It's called Asatrapi Binatabo Guys. So for me, it's like no matter what you hear me on, it's a song from the hood. It's a song about South Africa. You know what I mean? So even if it's a beat that's from, let's say, London on the track, from London, it will still sound like Binatabo Guys. So that's how I put it. Binatabo Guys.
Staying true to who you are, staying true to your roots.
Local is lekker, that's it.
Local is lekker, proudly South African, celebrating all things Mzansi. I'm definitely looking forward to your performance. But we've asked our followers on social media if you've got any questions for Focalistic, and we've got Hendrik here who said, how did he get to break through in the industry? What was, okay, you've already mentioned Casper heard you, but when you say the ultimate first moment, what was that?
I think there's a moment when everyone started understanding what I was doing. So for me, it's like when you start seeing followers and when you meet people in the malls. And I think that was with Asatrapi Binatabo Guys. That's my EP with Major League. So when I dropped that, that's when people started understanding what I meant with all the music I've been doing. So I think everything else followed through, and everything else is still unfolding. So for me, my biggest advice would be, yo, just be yourself. If you go guys, stay true to it. If you go the suburbs, stay true to it, because it's still all South Africa, you know, and there's always a South African to relate to.
And there's so much value in your story, whatever that story is. There's no need to try emulate something else or what someone else is pushing. You just got to do you.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for doing you, because I'm sure so many South Africans are motivated and inspired by your story. We've got another question here from Ulolu Omnandi Wodwa, who asked, what motivated him to go after his dreams?
I don't think you don't choose to go after your dreams. I think it chooses you. Like the thing you think about before you fall asleep, the first thing you think about when you wake up, there's no one who can motivate you to do that. It's just, it's innate.
It's a calling.
It's a calling.
And who are you not to answer that calling?
Exactly.
Well, thank you for answering the calling, because you're feeding South Africa back. The same country and the same people that feed you, you continuously feeding that love right back, because right now we're listening to your song on the radio stations. When we turn on the TV, we see your voice, we see your face and hear your voice, and we appreciate you for that. Of course, coming to South Africa with such wise words and inspiration. Thank you so much for coming through.
You so
and I'm looking
much.
forward to that performance, as I said. But after the break, we make a delicious mac and cheese crunch cube recipe. See you after the break.
With your support, we are now able to donate 20,000 pairs of Smart Step school shoes to children in need. Celebrate goodness when you buy a crush. Dial the number on the pack for a chance to win your share of cash prizes and school fees. Crush, share the goodness.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, Clover Classic Mayo is new to the Clover Classic range and comes in 3 levels of tanginess, so you can choose how you want to level up your recipes. So today, Tomi shows us how she adds the bang of flavor to the dish of the day, which is mac and cheese crunchy cubes with the classic mayo dip. SMS the keyword Clover to 33650 to get the recipe sent to your device. SMSs are charged at R1.50 and free SMSs do not apply. Oh, Tomi girl, you have got one of my favorite favorites of all time, but you're adding a twist to it, some mac and cheese.
Yes, of course. But before I even go there, you look amazing today.
I will, yeah, I would do me. Thank you so much, girl. But do you know what actually looks good? This food.
I know, right? So what we're doing today is we're adding a bit of a twist to mac and cheese. Normally, mac and cheese is served as a meal and you eat it as is. So we're making some crunch cubes today. So what I'm going to start by doing now is making the sauce, the cheese sauce that actually goes into our mac and cheese cubes.
Delicious. So I've struggled to always get that perfect sauce. So please break it down to me, girl. So how did you add some cheese in the bechamel sauce, and what are the quantities we're looking at? So
the bechamel sauce is basically flour, milk, and butter. So the aim is to cook down your butter, your flour mixture, and then add the milk. So as you add the milk, that's when you loosen up the actual mixture.
Delicious, okay.
And then it becomes, it thickens up. You just keep adding as much milk as you want, depending on how thick you want it to be or how loose you want it to be.
And then what do you do about lumps?
You just whisk it. You need to make sure that you use a whisk, because if you use a wooden spoon or anything like that, you are going to run the risk of getting lumps. All right, so once this is done, I've just added my cheese in my bechamel sauce. Now I'm adding all the other ingredients that go into our mac and cheese recipe. This is just tomatoes.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll get you involved just now. You're going to get your hands dirty.
I really want to help, but, you know, it's also nice to have a handy resident chef here to do all the work for you. No, I'm joking. It's just because you do such a good job at adding different flavors and textures and, of course, interest to a dish.
Of course. Oh, thank you. What I've just added into the recipe now is my basil, paprika, and then salt and pepper just to taste.
It's already smelling so good in this kitchen, let me tell you something.
Thank you. So what we're going to do now is, because we're trying to make sure that it's thick enough to hold, we're going to put this into a bowl or into a platter like this, and then we keep it in the fridge.
Okay.
We're going to put it into the fridge, but for now I'm just going to put it aside because I already have a
done portion.
Yeah, so let's just do this for you.
So just to go over that again, we put it in the fridge and the oven. How does that work?
Okay, so we've already got the mixture. Everything is cooked here, right? So we don't need to cook it again. We put it in the fridge to hold and set. That then allows us to have these cubes that have already set and held.
Beautiful.
Because we do that overnight. So once this is done, this is where the fun part comes in. You're going to get your hands dirty.
I'm ready for it,
You're
girl.
ready for that?
Okay, no, I'm actually not ready for it. I'm going to use the tongs, but at home you can get down and dirty. You can get the kids involved and your friends involved and making these deep fried dishes. So I've got my little cube here.
Yes, so we flour first, egg mix.
Okay, then egg mix.
Yes. And then over to the breadcrumbs. So what we're doing now is we're crumbing the mac and cheese so that once we put it in the oil to cook, it doesn't fall apart. You can just put it on the spoon and I'll put it in the oil for us.
Okay.
It looks ready.
Now that's good.
Perfect. So then what we will then do, if you want more crunch, you're more than welcome to crumb it more than once.
Oh, yeah.
You can crumb it twice if that's what you prefer. You can crumb it, but I think 2 is enough. But
I think 2 is enough, yeah.
If you want to get a thicker layer, you can crumb it again 2, 3 times.
I'm not really into having too much crunch. I quite like the actual food itself. Yes. But I know I got some family members who love a good crunchy meal and just want to feel that texture. Really?
I actually am.
Okay, I see you.
So once this is done, we're going to leave this to cook down because we want the mac and cheese cubes to be nice and brown on the outside. Because it's already cooked, like we say, we don't need it to cook for much longer.
Okay.
We're going to get started with our star ingredient for today, which is our classic mayo.
So this classic mayo comes in 3 levels of tanginess. I like that because sometimes when you're making, whether it is a dressing or a dip, what we're doing today, or creating something like a chicken and mayo sandwich.
Yes.
Sometimes that tanginess, that bitterness is too much for different flavor tastes.
Of course.
So this is perfect and this is ideal for the entire family.
Yes. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add all these ingredients. What I have over here, we've got some spring onion, Parmesan cheese, basil, chives, and some chili sauce, as well as some lemon zest, just to add that additional tanginess if you'd like to.
Nice.
All right?
Okay,
we're just going to make this off. So basically, once our mac and cheese cubes are cooked, we're going to dip them into our already decadent mac and cheese, into this sauce, and this beautiful sauce. All of this together, I promise you, is... I know we've been good girls throughout this week. We do deserve this together.
We really have been good girls. We've been making sure that what we're putting in our bodies is healthy. And this is honestly something that is so filling. This is something that is so satisfying as well, that everyone in the family will enjoy. Okay, so my dip is ready to go.
Awesome.
And of course, when the mac and cheese cubes come out, they look this good. So it's time to plate.
Perfect. And then we just add our sauce. And this is our dish, nice and ready. Look at you being all professional with the garnish.
Yes, queen.
And that's it. That is our mac and cheese balls, or cubes rather, with our delicious classic mayo by Clover.
Delicious, girl. You have done incredible. This is her first week on the job, and wow, has she started off her career here on Afternoon Express with a bang, joining the family, bringing excellence, which is what we don't do anything lower than excellence.
I know, right?
So thank you so much, girl. And if you want to join in on this excellence train, SMS the keyword Clover to 33650 to get this recipe. But if you need to see how this is made one more time, watch this.
Made with love by Clover.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.
Delicious. I can't wait to try that this weekend. Now join us after the break as we meet the first ever all-women team from Africa to venture Mount Everest.
With your support, we are now able to donate 20,000 pairs of Smart Step school shoes to children in need. Celebrate goodness when you buy a crush. Dial the number on the pack for a chance to win your share of cash prizes and school fees. Crush, share the goodness.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express as we kick off the almost weekend this Thursday. Soaring walkways, pristine wilderness, and of course those majestic treetops topped off by the open African bush. I decided to escape the city for a little me time and experience the true essence of Africa. This is my African escape at Pitori Hotel by Marriott Krugergate.
When I arrived at the Pretoria Hotel Krugergate, I was greeted by friendly staff. It immediately made me feel at home. The warm African welcome was reminiscent of our proudly South African culture, and those smiles, to me, said Ubuntu.
The Presidential Suite is the epitome of tranquil outdoor-indoor living.
The high ceilings give the house a spacious feel, and there is the perfect amount of light and fresh air coming from the grand windows and sliding doors. I see myself moving in indefinitely.
There comes a time ever so often where you have to switch off from the world and reconnect with nature. Staying at the Pretoria Hotel Krugergate gives you the most incredible sense of serenity. Being surrounded by nature, the sound of birds chirping first thing in the morning, and having the most beautiful view of the Sabi River right outside your private deck. This has to be such a romantic getaway, even if it's just for myself. It's not often that I just get to be outside and immerse myself in nature. Being in this part of South Africa, you truly are spoiled for choice when it comes to exploring the great outdoors. The sun is just rising and it looks like it's going to be a gorgeous day. Let's get ready to take a sunrise safari at the Kruger National Park. The safari drive gives a unique opportunity to interact with wildlife in their natural habitat. I got to experience eagles, lions, warthogs, and the most beautiful giraffes, not to mention the smaller, more interesting creatures. But let me tell you, those lions were fearless, the true definition of brave and proud. They were stretched out on the road as a reminder that we had officially entered their territory. What an incredible way to start the day. I can't think of a more special experience, but I've definitely built up an appetite. I think I heard someone say breakfast. Spoiled to a delicious breakfast. There's a dedicated helper on hand to tend to your every need 24/7. So I had to take full advantage, of course, and I indulged in the in-house services poolside. Breakfast was fresh, wholesome, and most of all, satisfying. Yummy. We all know that no holiday is complete without a little pampering session. And the spa's positioned right on the Sabi River, and I couldn't think of a better location. African Spa is a tranquil African bush spa on the banks of the beautiful Sabi River and overlooking the amazing Kruger National Park, which makes for the perfect African escape. I consider myself quite the lady, so I opted for the Bundu Madam's treatment. This relaxing experience includes a pedicure using water infused with flower petals, essential oils, exfoliants, and the sweetest smelling candles all around. The treatments lead to a massage bed where I had the pleasure of being spoiled with a back massage. But of course, keeping in mind the African theme of this resort, my masseuse used igule to work out my knots. With Valentine's Day coming up, I see many holidaymakers coming to visit the spa in the middle of the bush. Even if you want to take a shot left, la Mzansi, this makes for the most romantic yet unique experiences, perfect for him and her. It's really important to me that when I travel, I want
want to feel like I'm escaping the world, just to switch off and take in all the beauty that the world has to offer. As the day starts to draw to an end, it's time to sit back, enjoy the sunset, and prepare for a magical African bush dinner under the stars. Walking into the Lapa for dinner service, yet again I'm greeted by staff who are starting to feel more like family. She led me to my table and allowed me to go wild at the buffet. The dinner selection had an array of starters, main meal options and decadent desserts. An amazing time in the African bush, being under the stars and getting treated to the most fabulous feast. This was certainly the most perfect end to my African getaway. Oh, take me back. What incredible memories. And what a way to kick off, of course, Valentine's Day month. And with Valentine's Day just around the corner, why not experience the ultimate African escape with Protea Hotels by Marriott? Head over to protea.marriott.com to find out about their amazing bush packages. Trust me, it's worth it.
Discover the new language of travel. Marriott Bomvoy. 30 hotel brands, endless experiences, rewards reimagined.
The very first ever women team out of Africa to dare venture Mount Everest are in studio today and are about to fill us in on their journey and hopes for this thrilling adventure. Now connect with us online if you've got any questions for these lovely ladies. Tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the hashtag Afternoon Express or comment on our Facebook page. Ladies, you are such an inspiration, and of course the fitness that needs to go into your dreams of course has to be right on top of the incredible bravery and courage that follow. But why Mount Everest? Why mountaineering? I mean, I just got so many questions. Do you want to start?
I can start. So what's the question?
All of it, girl. Let's start all of it. Why Mount Everest?
So to be honest, I never wanted to climb Mount Everest, but this opportunity, which was started by Alda and then went various routes, landed in front of me, and the opportunity was just way too big. So yeah, super excited and grateful and blessed to be part of this amazing team.
And I think that going through something and having your goal as Mount Everest is so huge and so vast. But where did the beginning of mountaineering start for each of you ladies? And why is it so dear to your heart?
So I started in 2008. I climbed Kilimanjaro for the first time after listening to a radio station in an interview. And I thought, can I do that? And I just started planning. And I ended up summiting in 2008. And after that, I really wanted to continue. But you know, life happens, kids, studies and stuff like that. So yeah, 2 years ago, our plan started and we got this wonderful group of ladies together. We're unfortunately missing Deshan today, with our logistics company, Ronnie Mule from Adventures Global, and it's just been an absolute adventure for the last 2 years. And I keep on talking about next year, and they keep on reminding me it's this year.
Yeah, it's 2020, girl.
Yeah, we're going.
And for yourself, how's the journey been, and how incredible is it that next year is now here?
I joined the team quite late in the process, not too late though, so I've had a good few months with the team from last year. My excitement was just the opportunity to have a team where you are focused towards the same goal, an opportunity to share in the glory, an opportunity to share in the tasks, you know, in the objectives. So Everest is a big mountain, and I think it's better tackled with a team of women, especially women that are pushing the same dreams, you know, looking at the same objectives. And for me, that was very important.
Very important, absolutely. A big mountain that deserves big courage and big hearts. When you're preparing for such an incredible feat, what goes into it?
So yeah, the physical and mental and emotional and spiritual training has been happening for the last year. It's you don't go to any mountain and just have one level. It's holistic, and that's also why I climb, because I love the fact that you get all 4 levels challenged at the same time. So personally myself, I'm with 2 very special people that have been doing strength training and endurance training, and yeah, it's been 18 months of hard work.
So you have to, as much as you physically need to be fit, but your mental, your emotional, and of course how you prepare yourself as well from the inside out matters just as equally.
Very important. So one of the books that we all share is Mind Power and I know Robin Banks does it quite often, and it's really important. I've done some hikes during the year where my mind wasn't at the right place, and I struggled. And as soon as my mind was right and focused, it just turned the whole table around. So Everest and Lisa made a really good point. It's physical, but mentally as well. Some people even say that mental is actually more important.
Yeah.
I don't agree 100%, but yeah.
And I agree, because life's a mental game. And it starts and finishes there.
Oh, absolutely. Life is a mental game. I mean, I can definitely relate to that mind power course, because I was blessed enough to take it when I was 16 years old, before I even knew what I was entering into and the world I was opening myself up to. But I mean, there is power in the mind. And as we spoke about earlier with Focalistic, that you have to plant the seeds of that positivity, plant the seeds of the hard work. Of course, training is as important as one, getting that physical right up there. But ending off by winning is what we're looking for here. A lot of South African women are watching you ladies right now and saying, I want to do that. I want to be that. But in whatever industry, whatever field, it might not be Mount Kilimanjaro, but it could be starting a business. It could be, of course, starting a family, and of course, working on yourself as well. How do you ladies keep motivating yourselves when you no longer want to do it? And also just to start, I think, has a big part to do with it.
So our payoff line,
Our payoff line is courage to start, strength to endure. And we think that it applies a lot to everything that we do. Most of us on the team are entrepreneurs as well. So the strength that we draw from one another talks to exactly that at least you have to start. And it's only after you started that you will then understand exactly how to proceed.
Yeah.
Because until you have started, really, you cannot guess.
Yeah.
So for us, there's a big drive. You know, if you are battling to start, maybe that's where you must actually start. You know, you must actually start right there.
It's very daunting to think of starting any new venture, stepping out of your comfort zone and going after your dreams. I mean, they say that nothing changes in your life if you stay in your comfort zone. But of course, you are going to be faced with challenges along the way, whether it's financial, physical, mental, family support, people supporting you, and your own inner demons. How do you overcome some of those challenges, and what are the challenges that you ladies are faced with?
I mean, one of the biggest things for me is I like to speak to people and walk behind those that have gone before me. So I've read a lot of books and spoken to a lot of people that have been on Everest and summited. And a lot of the advice is read everything where everything goes wrong, and so that you get comfortable mentally with the fact that it's not clean sailing up the mountain and things are going to go wrong, but people have survived and summited. And if you get comfortable with the discomfort, then it becomes an easier journey.
Yeah, getting comfortable with the discomfort. I was speaking to the Vice Chancellor of UCT actually last year on Women's Day, and she said the same thing. One of the main things that a human being needs to overcome is discomfort, not being comfortable, and get comfortable within that discomfort. It sounds crazy and it sounds absurd, but it's definitely possible, and we've seen it with you ladies.
You don't learn when you're in your comfort zone. You only learn when you're being stretched, and you're only stretched when you step out of your comfort zone.
Wow, that is so beautiful. And of course, a lot of people want to support you. They want to back you ladies, and they want to say, hey, as Mzansi, we are proudly backing you ladies. How can people do that? From comments on social media all the way to the other end of the aspect, where does that fit in?
So support, I think, is very important. It's important from our families. It's important from South Africa, because we're going to fly the flag and we're going to be there as South African ladies, and we're very proud of that. We need support of financial. It's a big layout, financial layout. We've got amazing people supporting us already. We've got a big logistics company supporting us. So we do need a lot of support. The public can always support us on our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter handle, which is Everest 2020 SA. And all support is always welcome.
All support is always welcome, and all the information on how you can support these three ladies, 4 in, of course, the last one's absentia, on the screen right now. So definitely take down that information and follow and back our girls, because they are making us so, so proud. Finally, before we say goodbye to you ladies, do you have any advice for South African women, not only women, young people, old alike, to step out of their comfort zone and go for gold? We can maybe get a last sentiment from each lady.
Yeah, the most important thing for women out there is to just be out there, step out and look for opportunities and believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, you tend to hold back. So just know that you can in anything that you do.
Absolutely.
You go, Lise.
Yeah, I think the first step for me is is the journey of self-discovery and self-growth, because it all starts with you and you can only affect others when you are the truest part to yourself. So I would say be brave and have courage and take the first step.
Oh, of course, take that first step.
Yeah. So everybody's got different mountains in their life. In our case, it's Everest. But like you mentioned earlier, it might be starting a family, it might be studying, it can be anything. Just go for it, just get started, have the courage to start, and then just the strength to endure.
We definitely celebrate you, ladies, and we'll be backing you all the way as you make this momentous feat, not only being the only full-on women's South African team going up Mount Everest, but we want to have the story when you come back and let us know how it went. Thank you so much, ladies, and we believe in you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Now, after the break, fashion designer Tomi Rikhotso joins us on the couch.
With your support, we are now able to donate 20,000 pairs of Smart Step school shoes to children in need. Celebrate goodness when you buy a crush. Dial the number on the pack for a chance to win your share of cash prizes and school fees. Crush, share the goodness.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, Tomi R Creations is the epitome of modern African fashion, taking up space on a day-to-day basis. Today, we're joined by the designer himself, Tomi Rikhotso, to talk all about his collection. Connect with us online. If you have any questions for Tomi, tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the hashtag Afternoon Express or comment on our Facebook page. The man I've been dying to interview and, of course, get up and personal with his clothing. How are you doing today, sir?
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
You're looking really, really good, and something that continuously is just the epitome of your brand is fabulosity. But you've started making bags. I mean, what a creative jump. What got you in the fashion space?
When I started making bags, like I wasn't skilled. Like I was self-taught, so I was just trying a business. So after I got a bit of training, then I transitioned to fashion.
I hear that your mom also is a very big influence and, of course, inspiration to you. Where does your mom play in your fashion life?
Right now, it's a competition between me and her. She's... But
you can't compete with your mom. How?
We do. But she has a different target market.
Okay.
Yeah, she dresses like older people, while I I go for younger people. Yes.
If you were to pinpoint your style and your design and how you conceptualized fashion, what would that be?
I don't think I have like a singular style. Like I'd not like to restrict my creative territory, so to say, yeah. So like because my clients, they come with different ideas and my job is to also like they come with different visions, you know? So my job is to make their vision a reality.
And you have made that vision come to real life for so many superstars. I don't think that there's a celebrity event without Tomi's designs walking the red carpet. And I think every celebrity is dying to be dressed by you. When you have such incredibly big names and you need to back it consistently and keep your work at such a high standard, how do you keep conceptualizing and being so creative so beautifully?
I guess the passion that I have for what I do, it keeps me working all day, night. Like I don't care, because it doesn't matter. Because some of my clients, like they call me a day before an event, and I have to
come up with something.
Yes, and also because like I have to maintain the standard, you know. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing that standard of work. I have seen some models at the corner of my eye passing by and they look stunning.
Thank you.
I hope you know you're definitely dressing me for the next event. I'm just saying, can we just have a look at your fashion? And I see that this look, you've played with textures and color. Can you tell us about this look?
Yes, this one is inspired by nature. You see the ruffles there, like it gives it, I wanted to go for like a dramatic look.
Yeah.
Also sophisticated, yeah.
And also very playful. This is a very
it's a young,
look.
yeah, it's a youthful, playful look, fun. Like I want it to be very fun.
Very, very fun. I'm looking forward to also seeing this next model because I can see that you have not shied away with keeping the leg being the superstar of the garment.
Yes, we're going for sexiness.
Yes.
So with this one, like I was inspired by forestry. I wanted to, when I saw this fabric, I just imagined forestry and I wanted to bring it to life.
This is definitely bringing it to life in such a remarkable way because I can see that the print has embellished flowers and roses on it, but there's also beading and lace.
Yes, the fabric is brocade, but I embellished it with lace.
Stunning. And this is definitely something that I see people wearing at traditional weddings, at gala dinners, all of nje.
Yes, this was inspired by the Xhosa culture. So I wanted to modernize it and make it youthful and fun.
Youthful and fun is definitely words that can describe your garments and describe your look. Do you see yourself venturing into menswear at all?
I do make menswear.
You do?
I do, yes.
Wow, a talented king.
I do.
But here we've definitely highlighted the femininity, the woman, taking out her shape, taking out her curves, and of course showing that little bit of surprise there at the bottom.
Yes, and the bottom is handmade. That weaving that we have there, it takes a lot of time to make. So I wanted to use like simple fabrics but make different textures and textiles.
How long does it take you from beginning to end of a garment, roughly?
It's very funny because like in a day I can make up to 8 garments. It's crazy, I know.
That is crazy. I feel like you're abusing yourself, but we want more of it because we are so blessed by every single outfit that you put together. And this has to be such a statement piece. I mean, I see this walking down the biggest runways in the world.
Yes, this look was inspired by bees, but I didn't want to use like a typical color of bees. So it's a power outfit. You see, like we have honeycomb there. It's handmade. Yeah, I was looking for a bee. You know, a bee is very
Yes, they've got
strong.
that honeycomb
Yes,
shape to it, but of course very strong, very powerful. And you will definitely know if a bee is in the room. As we will with this outfit. I also hear that you shy away from going to fashion shows and showcasing your work on runways because actually in terms of business and it turning over to return on investment, you're not quite getting that.
True. Like for most fashion shows, it's just about publicity, and it does nothing major for the business aspect of things.
So you rather focus on fashion show, on fashion shoots,
yes.
actual clients, people that need you to come up with incredible work.
Because with photo shoots, like I have control of how I want my garments to be portrayed, you know, like I have total control.
Absolutely. Looking finally, one last look at these beautiful models. If you were to look at a typical Tomi R Creation person, who is that lady and what does she look like?
I think she represents dominance and fire, like a very. They're not shy. I'm very shy, but my clients are very confident people.
Yeah.
They're not afraid of spotlight, of stealing the event and
yeah.
bossing.
Having their presence felt the moment that they step
Very
in.
true.
Thank you so much, Tomi.
Thank you so much.
You have brought such beauty to Afternoon Express. I'm definitely looking forward to rocking one of your garments at the latest red carpet. Now get ready as Focalistic heats up the studio one more time after the break.
With your support, we are now able to donate 20,000 pairs of Smart Step school shoes to children in need. Celebrate goodness when you buy a crush. Dial the number on the pack for a chance to win your share of cash prizes and school fees. Crush, share the goodness. With your support, we are now able to donate 20,000 pairs of Smart Step school shoes to children in need. Celebrate goodness when you buy a crush. Dial the number on the pack for a chance to win your share of cash prizes and school fees. Crush, share the goodness.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. The Crush Goodness crew are well on their way across the country spreading a little goodness. Thanks to your help, we'll be distributing 20,000 pairs of Smart Step school shoes to learners in need at various schools. Now, if you haven't already done so, remember that you can stand a chance to win big with Clover Crush. By entering, you can stand a chance of winning your share of 250,000 Rand in cash and one of 5 paid-up school fees to the value of 50,000 Rand. So get your favorite crush today and enter with the details on pack. And if you're ready for a little bit of groove, a little bit of fun, we're going to have future Focalistic a little bit after this.
With your support, we are now able to donate 20,000 pairs of Smart Step school shoes to children in need. Celebrate goodness when you buy a crush. Dial the number on the pack for a chance to win your share of cash prizes and school fees. Crush, share the goodness.
We've got the Pitori Maradona here that's about to deliver fire performance with Never Know. Take it away, Focalistic.
it's a trip. Taking peanuts up a Casper, first love, shop a first drop, rubber tap. No clutch, a gearbox away. Chains on me like I'm judges up there. Bad luck girl, we can special no friend. And why does she love me? I will never know. And why does she love me? I will never know. And why does she love me? I will never. You think that she yours, but she blowing on my phone. And why does she love me? I will never know. Why does she love me? I will never know. And why does she love me? I will never. You think that she yours, but she blowing on my phone. I'm getting hit while I'm on the phone, woman. I'm talking money like I brush teeth with the check. I'm mixing up the Henny cause I had a long day. Shots put on my luda, I give a long. Ngamba my shombe, ngamba my head. And when I sleep, with his tombe. A groupies up, I told nicks. That's why I flex on the who never ever believe. Another damn on, I could buy a girl a weave. One kids in I can lemba. Go bail a pamparent on this calico settler. Why does she love me? I will never know. Why does she love me? I will never know. Why does she love me? I will never. You think that she yours, but she blowing on my phone. Why does she love me? I will never know. Why does she love me? I will never know. Why does she love me? I will never. You think that she yours, but she blowing on my phone.
Dog on the blue dog, yup, tough love from a Gus love, yup, customized shirts like a Mr. Mandel. Used to dream about it when I never had next. Now we top dogs on the top floor, I'll tell. That best when we take off, find a way. Said her menace, so she put it on me. Sexy Cinderella, put the on me. I'm too much for you small boys. Hey, you should speak up if you want war, yeah. Don't put your life on the line, hey. Oh yeah, I'm a bad man. But I still run and they go tell you why. Jarali, nakabasha. Let's go. Sabadamana, it's a 60 Johnny Major.
Why does she love me? I will never know. Why does she love me? I will never know. Why does she love me? I will never. You think that she yours, but she blowing on my phone. Why does she love me? I will never know. Why does she love me? I will never know. Why does she love me? I will never. You think that she yours, but she blowing on my phone. First love, shop a first drop, rubber and no clutch, gearbox away.
Customized shirts like a Mr. Mandel.
Bad luck girl, we can special no prenda.
Whatever's possible, Pitori Maradona, brothers, favela, all these bruises are so jealous.
What an incredible talent coming all the way out of South Africa. Of course, the head country, Pretoria city, of course. Now, tomorrow we're off air, unfortunately, due to the cricket, but you can join us again on Monday for more amazing content. Thank you so much for South Africa, for tuning in every single day. Have a fantastic weekend. Good night. God bless. See you on Monday.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.